What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Daddy Goods, and today we got Nate Woods, aka Young Nate, aka Caribbean Souls. How's it going, brother?
That's quite the intro, man. Thank you for having me. What's up, Daddy Goods? Thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely, absolutely, bro. I'm just having a good time today. Like I said, man, three podcasts in, but I most definitely needed to get my boy on the podcast, and we were supposed to do it a couple days ago, but I see that your IG got deleted, so I lost communication with you, man.
It did, man. What
You
a way
just
to
hit like
start.
20K. You just hit like 20K, didn't you?
Yeah, I hit like 20.5. I think that was like my highest that I reached on my IG. But um, actually, that specific IG I got back twice because I didn't really have anything crazy on there. So I did send another appeal, and most likely I will get it back. If not, then it is what it is. Um, how sad it can sound, like I think it's just really something that we as content creators have to go through on IG. Like IG is not really the best platform I think for us creators nowadays. But yeah, it is
Yeah.
what it
Yeah, it is what it is, man. But it seems like it's nothing to get the ball rolling again because when you gain a fan base and you gain recognition, people know who you are. So when you create a new page, they're like, okay, I
Oh,
know that's Nate, that's young Nate right there. We gotta follow him again.
yeah, like for sure. I mean, I remember like when I first lost my page when I didn't really have any recognition. It was tough, especially for I think a male content creator out there. Um, I think when you're a female, you got really pretty feet. Um, it's definitely like a tiny bit easier, I think, to get like bigger recognition, and it's like with all the love and respect for male, female, because nowadays you say something and it could be something sensitive to people, so you have to
Yeah,
be so
that's
so
true.
careful nowadays with what you say. But I mean, no, the first time definitely it was painful, man. It was really painful. I'm not gonna lie, like. Um, I remember like first time losing my page, I had like 12.7 thousand, I think. And for
Mm,
me, that was like, damn, like I never thought that whatever I was doing was interesting enough for people to actually follow me, like so many people. So for me, it was pretty big. And especially like getting recognition from big names, like people you used to look up to when you were like younger or started to follow you or, actually look up to you as who you are. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just some random dude in the Caribbean just doing my shit, you know?
yeah.
But yeah, that was painful. But you get back up, you get back up, you keep doing your shit, and don't really let anything phase you too much. Just take it in, process it, and like you said, keep the ball rolling.
Absolutely. So you being a male content creator in this realm, do you get a lot of questions as like how do you approach women? Because I know that's got to be a common question.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That's like one of the most frequent questions that I would definitely get, and for me, it's not always like the most easiest thing to answer, since not like um, I would say every single approach is the same. I think it really depends on who you're speaking to. Like whatever, like let's just say you're. How can I put this in the right context? I don't think every single female will respond the same way to every single approach. So what my basic thing would be is always to be very respectful, um, direct, confident, but never overconfident. Like just confidence, confidence for sure. Be respectful, since when you're approaching a girl, you should really understand that you're getting in her safe zone. You're getting in her bubble, for instance.
Mhm.
So, something that's very important to realize for people is to be respectful and realize, like, step in her shoes first. And besides immediately wanting to see feet, 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 get to know the person first,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and go from there. Um, yeah, that's my tiny little bit of advice I could give for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, I couldn't agree more with you in terms of like trying to actually get to know the person first before you start talking about feet or anything like that. Because I mean, talking about anything that's like a lustful desire for you right away is going to be weird, no matter what part of the body it is or what it is in general. Like if you want to, you know, like get to know a woman and eventually like if you have lust for her, right? Like if you want to sleep with her or something like that, like most women are not, you know, gonna want to hear about you wanting to sleep with them like
No.
in the first couple like hangouts. Like that's never the way. I mean, you know, everybody's different, you know, some women might like that, but like I think like just all around in general, like that's never truly the way. Like you got to like get to know them first. I mean, just all around. I mean, and I think that's just like goes for
Many
just
things.
everything. Yeah, like if you ever like if you just want to be friends with the woman, like you can never have any hidden agenda, really. I think
No,
like you gotta be like, you know, as authentic as possible in all cases, I feel, right?
exactly. Like I feel the exact same way. What you said right there about, you know, being friends. Like many times as well, what I see happening so many times is like, let's say this guy finds a girl attractive and he wants to be with that girl or wants to get more serious with that girl, but this girl doesn't have those same plans as this guy, and perhaps turns him down, or how do they say it, and shuns him, something like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
These guys would get so much in their feelings, and they would perhaps even say like, "Oh, you weren't that pretty anyways,"
All right.
or "Oh yeah, fuck you then," you know. But
Yeah.
oh, sorry, could I even use profanity? I'm sorry, I didn't even ask.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah,
It's all
monetize
good.
it. But no, and I mean, sometimes it takes, how do you say it? Like sometimes you don't always have to have something with this girl. You could just be friends. Like that's something that girls will appreciate a guy do. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yeah. I think being somebody who has the ability to be somebody's friend first before anything, that really actually strengthens your character and just strengthens your knowledge on how to be around the opposite gender in general. You know, like you got to have women friends if you want to get to know women, and you can't look at every woman as an objectified object, you know, like something that you have to sleep with. And you know, I think some guys, they're lucky because they have sisters, so they're able to be around women like, you know, from very young ages. But you know, for the gentlemen who don't have the luxuries of having a sister, I
Luxury.
think that, yeah, like I think that's like great advice for them, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you have a sister?
I do actually. I grew up with a sister.
Okay, all right, all right.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh, see, man. See, the pieces are coming together a little bit, and a lot of guys that I know that, you know, have a lot of women in their lives, you know, and by a lot of women in their lives, I don't mean like player, a guy with a lot of women that they sleep with. I mean just like, you know, friends and, you know, people that, you know, they're acquainted with and what have you. Like most of them grew up with, you know, women around and
Bro.
what have you. I I mean, I guess it's kind of an advantage, but you know, you got to kind of learn, you know, what advantages you got and advantages you don't got, and then just kind of pick the brains of other people to kind of learn a
To
little
kind of
bit.
like how you would approach situations in life with other people. Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, everything in life has to do with experience for sure. And sometimes these guys are asking me like, "Don't you feel embarrassed?" or "How do you feel? Did you ever get rejected?" I'm like, I got rejected many times, bro. You know, it's not like you just do what I do and you're like immediately good at what you do. I mean, you need to fall many times to get some experience from that and actually better your ways. You know? Yeah, for sure. I got.
So So some of the women that you work with, are they typically like regulars that you work with a lot, or are they oftentimes just new acquaintances that you meet out and about?
You know, sometimes. So how this goes is like some of the some of the girls on my page, like let's say maybe a tiny percentage are actually people that I've known before. That I was just like, you know, they're friends, and I'm just like, you gotta model those feet. You could make some good money with your feet.
Yeah.
You should do it. You know, like that. But um, I would have like three regulars that I would work with right now at the present moment. But not everybody's as motivated to keep doing it. You know,
Right.
some people. I think nowadays the mentality, especially for not just younger people, but just in general, people are just fucking lazy, man. Like people want to just get everything they can get and do the least work for it. That's just really like the mentality that we have nowadays.
Yeah.
So let's say most of the people that just step into this world, they would think, I'll make like 3 photos of my feet, put that shit on Instagram, I'm about to make like $1,000, like I'm about to make it back, you know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work like that. But yeah, if that's answer your question, that answers your question.
Yeah, no, totally. You know what? Like, I think that is the perception a lot of times, because a lot of people who model their feet, they see like on TikTok and different social media platforms, girls who say, "Oh, I took a picture of my feet and made this amount of money or whatever." And so they just automatically think that it's really that easy, and then they realize like, no, it's actually something you got to be consistent with. Like, you can most definitely make money selling, pictures and whatnot. I mean, any kind of pictures, for that matter. But like, it just takes a certain work ethic for sure. And that's why you see a lot of models pop up and they'll be around for like a month and then you don't see them post anymore. Yeah, just disappear. That's something that I'm starting to notice a lot too. And, there's even been a couple that I've had on the podcast, and, like I don't see anything from them after they've been on the podcast. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I got to kind of, maybe wait a little bit for some people to kind of stick around a little bit to have them on the podcast, maybe, because then what happens is they come on the podcast and then, a year later, people are looking them up and, they can't find nothing. And it's like, oh man.
Yeah, I get you. I agree with that like 100%. I was talking to my sister actually today about specifically that, because she lives in Holland, so we call like every week in the weekends. But we were just talking about that not everybody has that entrepreneurial work ethic, like you're saying. Not everybody has the same mindset to actually do something like that. And it doesn't even have to be with like a foot page. It could be anything. It could be any kind of business. I don't think everybody is always set out to own their own business. You could say yes. I mean, that's your opinion. Not you, I mean, just people in general.
Right.
Say yes. But I do think that not everybody is cut out to be their own. Not everybody has the mindset and motivation and discipline to keep something running, because just as the same as like a relationship with someone, you could get into a relationship pretty easily, but like maintaining that relationship is actually where most of the stuff happens. Like you're married, right?
Yes.
You have a wife, you're married. Like you could know, like getting into a relationship or getting into the bed, easy, right? We're talking not like easy, but let's say that's like the less complicated term.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the less complicated like step. But maintaining a relationship, maintaining a marriage, maintaining a business,
mm-hmm.
is where it sits.
Yeah.
People want to. I think the society as well is, we're seeing so much. We're being triggered so much by media, and we want that, but we don't see the struggle that comes with it.
Yeah, no, there's totally an unspoken rule about being an entrepreneur that you absolutely must stay consistent and work on the days that you don't feel like working if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur. And I really think there's so many factors that roll into that, but the biggest one being, probably in my opinion, would probably have to be, you have to find something that you actually like doing, because if not, then you're just not going to want to do it, in the first place. But if you do find something that you like doing, then yeah, you do got to show it some tender love and care, a little bit of TLC rather, and and work towards it. And it was a great analogy that you just said about marriages, because in marriages, a successful marriage doesn't happen overnight either, and you just are constantly getting to know this person throughout the years. And after a while, you still don't know them completely. Like you know them a lot better. But like, so me and Mama Goods, right, we've been married now for 8 years, right, and we've been together for longer. But I mean, there's still things that we're growing and improving on, and still getting to know each other in multiple different ways. And people also change too, you know?
Keeps it fun, bro. I mean, to be honest, it keeps it fun. Yeah, what you're saying right there. I mean, many people also always think that when you're going into a relationship with someone, you always have to be stuck to that person, always have to be together, always have to be this. Always no. I think that when you're together with someone as well, you should respect that they had their life
Mm-hmm.
before you as well. So I mean, you have like your life, her life, you combine it, and the rest of the life flows. Like I hear so many. It's funny. I can give such good relationship advice, but I'm single.
Why is that? Why do you think it is that you can give such good advice, but you're single?
Because every single advice that I've given many people with their stuff, not even just relationship advice, I always tend to be able to help people out very, very well with whatever they're dealing with or going through, just because of my previous knowledge as a human being, I guess. But when it gets to me, I'm just there like, shit, man. I don't know what the fuck to do. Like,
Yeah.
depression, if it's anxiety, like, I can always tell people what they could do to improve their well-being. But then when I'm depressed or I'm anxious, I'm like, shit, I'm fucked.
Yeah. How do you deal with depression and anxiousness, anxiety?
How I deal with it now, I mean, if I say how I was dealing with it in the past, I was definitely like really gravitating towards a lot of, substances, let's just say it that way. Didn't really know what to do besides fill it up with something, like something that really could, feed my dopamine and serotonin levels. But right now I would say, being 5 years clean, I would say definitely meditation, good diet, exercise, a lot of water. I don't know if that helps, but it helps me.
It's gotta help.
Yeah, and keeping yourself busy for sure. With something positive. Keeping yourself busy with something positive that you could, because you're not going to be able to stop any addiction overnight. It really takes something that you could do to fill that gap up and actually do something that would give you the same sort of kind of satisfaction that you would get from something that you were doing previously.
Yeah, no, that's deep right there, man. And you saying that you've been 5 years clean. Are you pretty open about like what it was that you were, addicted to?
Yeah, I don't really mind that. I was just, staying YouTube safe, I guess, in a sense. But yeah, I was addicted. I mean, I think any addict wouldn't really want to admit to their addiction. They would always be like, I wasn't addicted,
Yeah.
They would always be like, nah, I wasn't addicted. But I was probably like pretty addicted. Like I used to. Well, I wouldn't say I was addicted to a substance. I think I was addicted to the feeling of feeling good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pushing away reality for a second.
Right.
That would be just cannabis use, just a lot of cannabis use for sure, which actually really truly helped me to get through my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, I did some ecstasy, I did some MDMA, I did some speed, I did LSA. It's like some weird seeds, like they're ancient seeds that you chew on and you just put them in water, or you make a tea out of it, make a brew, and it's supposed to give you some how do you say it, like psilocybin kind of effect. So like we're talking about mushrooms.
Oh, like
me and my friends tripped some crazy balls on that shit right there. But I don't regret anything I did, man. I had a great life and I still am. So
yeah, I mean, I think we all kind of went through an experimental phase where we wanted to kind of, try different substances and see what they do and whatnot. Like
100%.
for me, I haven't drank alcohol now in, I think it's 4 months now. And, I don't think that I was addicted to it because it wasn't something that I did every day. And,
Right.
But when I think about like the long run, because I'm 34 now, and when I started having drinks, I was probably like 20 or something like that. I think to myself, like, when was the last time that I took a long break from it? Even, and like I might have gone like a week or two or maybe even a month without drinking before, but like a 4 month gap or even a year gap or a couple year gap, I haven't done that since I started drinking. And it just makes me wonder, like, why is it that we feel like we cannot have fun unless we are,
Or
you
on,
know,
yeah,
we have some kind of mind change, and that kind of tripped me out. And so that's been like my biggest challenge as of lately, is trying to figure out, like, can I have fun without these things? And the answer is yes, but it hasn't been easy trying to find that answer, you know?
I hear you, man. I hear you on that, like 1,000%, man. Like, I mean, many people, especially like around me back then, you know, when somebody's on a substance, if it's alcohol, if it's whatever kind of substance that's your poison, they never want to be alone on that specific substance. They're always like, yo, get with me on it, or, you know, do it. Um, but the fact about being, having fun without it, I mean, it is possible for sure. I think it's all between your ears, man. It sounds so crazy, but it's for real. It is. It's just that you have become so used to being on that substance for you to be happy, but it's not necessary. Like, serotonin is created in the brain naturally with, you know, reward systems, just like dopamine receptors in our brain.
Yeah.
Um, the thing is, when you're using THC, which is in cannabis, or you're using MDMA, which is like methyl, I don't even know, like, it's a whole name, I forgot the name. But these things drain your serotonin, and they boost your dopamine, which basically would give you a huge rush at that point, and you're just being deprived of it, or given too much of it at that point, which
Mm.
your mind is just every time getting it. And that's, you know, it's just like social media. We're being a reward system. You're getting so much likes. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm getting this. Or the human brain, and these, you know, big companies, they know exactly what they're doing to humans. I mean, they're not stupid, you know.
Yeah. I guess at the end of the day, we're all going to always be addicted to something, but
Yeah,
hopefully it's a good addiction, you know?
definitely.
Not something that's going to poison our bodies and, you know, turn us into monsters, you know?
It's just balance, man. It's just balance. Like anything in life, man. Like, I'm wearing white and black. Like, you
Yeah.
know, balance. Like, the in between would be great. You know, like, just sticking in the middle of those two. I guess that's where the biggest difficulty lies. It's just being in balance with your body and being in tune with your spirituality, I would say, and just being happy as a human being, who you are, where you are, being present, not being too stuck in the past, and neither being too worried or preoccupied with the future.
Yeah.
Um, dude, that sounds so philosophical, man. Are we talking about feet?
No, no, I love it, man. No, I mean, man, we talk about everything on this podcast, man. And that's the beauty of, you know, just a podcast in general, man. Like, you know, yeah, what brought us together was most definitely feet. But when we start talking, you know, it's just, there's so much more to Nate Woods, and so much more to Daddy Goods, and so much more to the people listening to this right now. Like, you know, hopefully this could help somebody, you know, like they might have came over here to get their mind off of, you know, something that was depressing them. And so they wanted to, you know, hear about feet, but then now they're hearing about something that might be touching a deeper part of their, you know, their soul right now, you know?
That's like, I do feel like that's, I think we're losing a lot of touch nowadays as human beings with, like, just humanity in general. Just
Mhm.
we're not really caring too much anymore about anything. It's just like all so individualistic, you know, nowadays. We talk about community all the time, but, you know, if it is with this, or if it is with the society that we have right now, it's just very individualistic, man. So, I mean, if I could help someone with whatever words I just used, and it penetrated your soul in any way, and it helped you out, man, fuck, I'm happy.
But
I'm
see,
happy.
like, and that conversation was derived from me asking you, you know, like, what is like a common question that you get from guys? And a lot of guys want to know, like, how do you do it? But this is the answer. Everybody listening right now is like, just being you, being yourself. Like, you see how
Yourself.
real and genuine Nate is right now. You know, I'm sure you're like that when you're out in public, and or even when you're socializing,
Always, man.
you know, people.
Whenever you, I think the best you can do as being a content creator is being genuine and being yourself. I mean, nobody's gonna follow you or nobody's gonna fuck with you, so to say, with something you're not. Like, let's say if you're just being yourself and you're bringing that content to the table that is different from anyone else, that's what they're gonna go for, because that's something that they haven't seen. So you doing the exact same thing that everybody else is doing, fine, you probably will get an audience for that, but the biggest audience you will get is being yourself, you know?
That's
With
very true.
relationships, man, with girls, I mean, trust me, man, being a cocky prick will not get you this girl, or maybe we'll get you a girl, but she'd probably be on the bratty side too, you know? It's just like, yeah, like I said, approaches for different women, but just be yourself for sure. Just be confident. Even if you're shy, just be honest about it. Even, you know, like let's say, let me give you an example. Let's say you're a shy guy and you're like asking me how do you want to approach a girl. I would say even maybe be honest about you being shy about it, but not too much, because girls can sniff fear.
Oh yeah,
Sniff it out. They are. You always think that men are the male predators and prey. Bro, girls
they can be too.
smell and sniff out your fear, my guy. Trust me. Fuck, I'm telling you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes the girls are the ones that are shooting the shots, man. You know?
Tell me about it.
He's like,
If I was in the States right now, I probably think that I would have at least 5 or 6 booties on my face right now. Not even feet.
Hey, so tell me this, man. Like being that you are from, or at least live in the Caribbean, for what I'm understanding, do you feel like it gives you another allure for like women when it comes to you know, them being interested in you?
I have no idea, man. I can only step in the mind of a female so far, you know. Like I don't know, but I think that definitely gives, like, I think anything unknown for men or women creates like a sense of curiosity.
Absolutely.
So it creates, like what you're saying, an allure. You
Yeah.
know, it creates some sense of like, oh shit, it's unknown. I want to know.
Mm.
You know, what is this? Like I haven't seen this. You know, maybe. You know.
Yeah. I'll be open about something right now, and Mama Goods will probably want to slap me for this, but it's the truth. So for me, for some reason, I am a sucker for British accents.
Oh shit.
When it comes, like when I speak with a woman with a British accent, I'm just like,
Messed. You're
you
messed up.
know, I don't know what it is, man, but I think I have an idea, which would be what you just said, is like when you are not from a certain place and there's a curiosity, it's like it's just something different, it's something new almost, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm actually, to answer your question before as well, I was born in Amsterdam. Like I'm actually from Holland. I'm Dutch. My mom is from here. My dad is from Indonesia. So like everybody that's watching, I think it's a pretty good thing to know if you care. Um, Born in Amsterdam, where there's strippers, hookers, same thing. Red light district, all those three are the same thing. Cannabis, a lot of cheese, really nice architecture. But yeah, that's where I'm from. And then my dad is from Indonesia, Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
He's like the whitest out of the family. That's why I'm so white. And then my mother is actually from here. She was born here, and then has family from Dominican Republic and has family from Venezuelan descent and
Okay.
Jewish. I'm a whole fucking mix, man. So yeah.
That's what's up. What is it like living in the Caribbeans? Is it pretty cool?
Hot.
Hot. Yeah. Hey, I
Hot.
live in Las Vegas, so I mean, I know it's not probably as humid and tropical weather as out there, but man, it's like it's hot out
Like,
here too.
yeah, no, like you're talking about humid. Like over here when it rains, the humidity levels go up to like 80%.
Cool.
So if you have asthma, like everything, you know, yeah, never mind, man. Like it gets to you. Like even with me, with my asthma shit, like ugh, my chest gets tight, all that shit, man.
Oh, I bet. Oh, I bet, man. I mean, that's how it was for me when I was in Florida. When I was in Florida, I mean, it's way more humid in Florida than Las Vegas, and I was, you know, having allergies out there, and it's on top of that humid, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Maybe not as intense as in the Caribbeans, but like, bro, like my chest was tight. Like I was like, man, I can't breathe, man.
Right, right. You're feeling like you're having like a whole ass attack, like a heart attack. You're like, shit, I'm about to die, man. But it's just your allergies, you know, acting up with you. And here again, we're talking about diet, by the way, for everybody that's in here. If you're suffering from allergies as well, some good things to do: ginger tea, turmeric tea, stinging nettle tea, um, vitamin C supplements, vitamin D supplements for immune system. Yeah, that sums it up.
Man, my guy Nate Woods is dropping gems on everybody right now. All right, so we're talking about not being able to breathe. Is there any foot models that when you see them, you lose a breath?
You know, man, I was asked this question like I think a couple of times before in the past as well, and I don't want to disrespect any other models. Like I don't want to say names, and then other models are like, "Where the
Right.
I mention that?" You
All
know,
right.
like
I
that's
feel you,
what
man.
happened. Like I swear, like you're probably gonna be like, "What the fuck, Nate? You didn't call my name." Like, but I'll call some. I'll call some out. Like, why not? I would say because there's like a category for every single like let's say for the ebony community, I got a few models. For the
Right.
Latin community, I got a few models. From the
Right.
from the Caucasian models, I got a list. You know,
Oh yeah.
like I got a list for every single, you know,
I hear you, man. All
type.
right.
Like
All
let's
right.
say
What about top three? Top three.
top 3 from all.
Just from like, if you were to take your top three from all, what would be your top three? You're
Wow.
like, you're gonna get me in trouble, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly, man. But let's say somebody that I've always like really looked at, and I'm like, fuck, man, if I would get the chance to do a shoot with her or even just talk with her for fuck's sake, you know,
Yeah.
that would be Didi Rican for sure.
Okay.
The most awesome thing happened to me, like I think about a year ago, is I got into contact with, you know, Goddess Grazi.
Say that again.
Goddess Grazi from Brazil. Godmother of foot fetish community in there in Brazil.
I might have seen her. I'll have to double check.
So she's like, I was looking at her since I was like, 13, some shit,
Daddy.
She recognized my work. She followed me on Twitter, followed me on Instagram. I would definitely say she's like number one actually, then Didi Rican, and then third, Konya, man. I don't know, bro. Like, man, you're putting me on the spot, man.
I know. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Cause like, damn, bro. Like,
you're like, there's too many.
there's too many, like, bro. But like, I'm gonna make it like a top 10.
Okay. Bet. Top 10. Okay.
Names. DC Foot Queen.
Alrighty.
DC Foot Queen, big feet, very nice proportional. Actually, I think she's got pretty feet. She has a great attitude. She knows what she's doing. Respectful lady. Let's see. You know what's funny, man? I'm on Instagram, seeing all these names pop by, and I'm like, shit, bro, she's nice. And right now, like the scene from SpongeBob, where he's like, they're going through his brain. You see like all these people running with paper and fire in the brain.
I don't know if I've seen that. It might have been a while. That's funny though.
With me right now. Let me see who else, man. So confident, like, yo, about to drop a top 10. Like, your wife for sure, like, has really nice souls. Like when I checked out her page, she has really nice souls, like very neat. Yeah, like proportionate, really nice.
Mama Goods, you made the young Nate top 10. Shout out to Mama Goods.
Hey. What's her name? Michelle Worth Following. Ever heard of her?
No.
She's like, or she had her page called Feet Worth Following. She has really well.
That's an easy one to remember. I'm gonna write it down. Feet.
Write it down, man.
Worth following. Is she still around?
She's still around, 100%.
It's like 5.
I should get up my laptop right now. Just damn.
Yeah, man. Hey, we got time. Man. Why not?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. We're dropping the Young Nate top 10 right now on the POF Pod. Creators Edition number 7. If you don't know this man, Young Nate, he has some fire content. He does a lot of shoots and works with some fire souls. He's got the other phone or the laptop.
Bro, I was thinking that I could actually have another phone to check out my stuff, but this phone is dead.
Oh, of course.
And knowing my laptop is going to take a long time to.
It's all good. It's all good, man. Well, you
All
dropped
right.
like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, I said Goddess Gracie, Didi Rican, some DC Foot Queen, and I said your wife.
Yeah,
Stop
shout
five.
out to you guys. Yeah, that's a solid list right there. I got to check out some of those other ones. I mean, man, there's so many top notch models out there. You
Yeah,
know,
like man, I have so much more to be honest, man. But like for some reason they're not popping in my brain. I think I'm having some. How do you say it? How do you say when waterfalls in your outlet?
when waterfalls, I don't know. I
Like
can't
waterfalls in your electricity outlet. They call it shortage.
like a shortage. I think it's just you're on the spot right now, and it's
Yeah.
hard to think of them on the spot. I mean, I get that way sometimes too. It'll come to you though. All the names will come to you as soon as we're done recording. That's when they all come to you. But
Facts.
so last night I was having a like kind of like a little funny discussion with one of the viewers of the podcast in a live Instagram of a specific model, and he was saying, man, you should do or he said we should have like an awards for like top models. And I said, man, that sounds fun. I said, however, dude, you know how many people would get so mad if they were not selected as like winners and whatnot. It's kind of like it's a tricky thing to do,
True.
like top tens or
Yeah.
any kind of like top, because you want to show love to everybody that you have shown appreciation to over time. So it's almost like I don't know if I would ever do like some kind of award system or something like that. Well, first of all, like who am I to say who has top anything, right?
Exactly.
But
Like no disrespect to anybody that may have a page like this.
yeah.
But like, let's say when I see some pages on Instagram, like shout out pages, and they put like these battles with models, and I'm just like, cringe.
Yeah.
Bro. I'm just like, bro. There's like, it's not fair. Like somebody has more followers and gets more support, and the other one has maybe even prettier feed, and then you have all these people like vote for me, and I'm just there like, no.
Like what's the like
What's the point?
reason,
Like what?
Yeah,
Like what?
what's the point? Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck. I'm sorry.
Right. I mean, I guess it's like good promotion at the end of the day. Like if you're trying to grow your following, not necessarily your following. I mean, I know the main goal for a lot of creators is to get more traffic to their paid sites a
Of
lot of
course.
times. And,
Mhm.
that's understandable. And, all publicity, and all promotion could most definitely help that, like you being on this podcast, that could help drive some people to your paid sites and, you know,
Did I throw something?
sure, absolutely.
Anybody's checking this out? If you're not following me already, check out my page. I'm not sure if you're gonna put like a thing that you always do, like you do crazy good edits. I've seen it, but yeah. So if you're not following my page yet, I used to have two, now I have one, but we're good. Follow me on Caribbean Souls. Caribbean as Caribbean, Souls as in souls. We all know how to write that. So Caribbean Souls dot period Inc. 1. I mean 2. See, lose so many pages. I lost. And you can check me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram. I have a Telegram channel, but it's on the low. But the big thing that you should definitely check out if you want to see some good stuff going on. Like, I mean, a regular dude just like you. I mean, maybe not so regular, but pretty regular. 24-year-old dude, young guy, just doing a crazy bunch of content that you probably would want to do. See, I mean, check out my loyal fans, man. It's always on sale most of the times. Full price 12, sale price usually 6. I mean, can't beat that shit. you know.
No, man, especially if they want to see some fire content. Could you tell them like what to be able to expect on these sites or on that loyal fans site?
Could you say some words that are restricted?
Um,
Should I use
just say,
abbreviations?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Should I use some of them abbreviations?
Um, go ahead, just give it a shot, and
All
if
right.
it's
So you could see foot worship content. We're good. Foot
we're
worship
good.
content. We got foot job content. Yeah. We got trampling. We've got domination. We've got boy on girl. We've got I've even like done one video where this girl was actually spitting on me, which is like a first for me, but it felt great. Sadly, uh, trampling, foot worship, foot job, um, basically all of those things. And most of the times, when you're looking at this is actually content that is unscripted. It's not scripted content where we're just doing a whole. You should see my content as something that is between professional and amateur. In the middle of that, I don't want to be a big time professional production. I just wanted to keep it like as like top notch amateur shit. Like top notch amateur in between professional, like right in between there. And I want to have like the experience of actually seeing you through me, like doing like me doing these things, but you thinking that it's you, and just yeah, just like you. Maybe like let's say you're coming had this foot job video, like we literally just came from school, and the girl was doing a foot job on me, and it was amazing, like a school girl. She had her glasses on,
Yeah.
or two, like literally I had this like crazy video. Two girls, they're real sisters, gave me a foot job, a double foot job video. Real sisters, two ebony girls on a white dude like me. I'm sure there's some white dudes out there right now that had a big fantasy of like at least two beautiful ebony women, rubbing stuff on stuff. So
100%, 100%. Have you ever thought about putting some of this content on PH?
PH, I have done it. It went mediocrely viral, but like we're talking about like 20,000 views and stuff like that. But I thought about the thing, and I was just like thinking like, people on PH don't really make too much money doing it, like the work they put in. I think the big PH members would do, because they're like big PH stars, P stars. But for a small time creator, so like I am, I think it's not really the best bet. You would need to have at least 150,000 views to make your first $100, because you make I think it's 69 cents per 1,000 views, which means 150,000 views equals to $100, which is your first payout. And I was nowhere near that at that point. If I had to do it consistently and have a professional production, why not? But not worth it. So much free content thrown out there. I'm not throwing my stuff out there. Just no.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on like how many views you can get, because I know it could result to a lot of promotion if it hits the right algorithms and whatnot. It can maybe drive traffic, but I mean, but then again, I'm sure like as far as getting traffic to your site, I mean, what you're doing now, I'm sure you're doing it just fine. And
actually, I'm even surprised sometimes. Like sometimes how fast I see subscribers come on there, I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, and renewals. I'm so like that really makes me happy as a creator, because I feel like I'm doing something that people really truly enjoy. Like it's not just like I'm doing it and it's just that. Because I think as well, when you're a content creator, you should really think of what people want to see besides what you want to bring out only. That's the first thing I did what was wrong when I first started. I only did what I liked. But you should really check out and do polls on your page, see what people like to see, and go from there.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, hey, the people are the tastemakers, so you're right, man. You do got to pay attention to the audience and see. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, people leave comments. Excuse me. People leave comments all the time, like on the podcast, and they'll say like the things they want to see. Sometimes it's things that I'm not really interested in doing, and I just won't do. But then other times I'm like, that's a great idea. I would love to implement that, and most definitely over time. A lot of times, doing a more of a digital podcast, I'm not in the same room with a lot of my guests, so there's some things that are just impossible at the moment, but maybe in the future, there could be some more fun.
You're in Las Vegas, you said?
Yep, in Las Vegas.
That's dope. Isn't Las Vegas like also really hot?
Yeah, bro, it's like yeah, it's in the desert, so it's like it gets really hot. Like today, let me see how hot it is today. Like in the summer, usually it peaks at around like 117, 118 degrees. Today it's only 99 degrees. So,
Bro, I just checked it because I was watching the Woodstock documentary
mhm.
on Netflix, which was
Yeah. Yeah,
shit.
Vegas is a really, really fun city to be in. It's a lot of things to do, a lot of entertainment, and I would say a lot of good energy too. The energy out here, it feels like a very progressive energy. And what I mean by that is like living here, I feel very motivated, and I feel like all I want to do is hustle and grind and
Or that's
and
what's up.
and make the life better for my family and myself. Like I just want to just continue to push, and that's the energy I feel out here. I originally grew up in a certain city in California, and I just didn't feel it out there. I didn't feel that kind of energy. It felt very, very negative, and a lot of people just want to pull you down. And it could also be the good and positive energy I'm feeling is just not being around people you grew up with, because sometimes being around people you grew up with, it's a lot of people who just don't want to see you win, just because they can't see you up there when they can't manage to get from right here. You know what I mean? It's like a hater mentality.
I've been there too, bro. I've been there, man. And it's like, I think when you go through stuff like that, you just need to grab your scissors and cut off that string,
That's
bro.
it.
Like, just cut it
That's
off.
it.
Don't look twice, man. Just bye.
That's it,
Easy,
man.
easy as that. People like that just bring you down. They're not gonna bring you any positivity at that point. If people always want to see you good, but never supposedly in their brain better than them. And when that
Yep.
happens, they turn to enemies. Friends turn into enemies, and enemies turn into friends. Like, no cap. I've
Yep.
seen. I've had enemies, or like, let's just say people I don't like, turn into my friends, and even business partners at certain moments.
I tell you what, man, like by supporting other good people, man, it will do nothing but good for you. And I love to see
Truth.
people win. I love to see good people win. And I love to see, I honestly, everybody win. It doesn't have to be the good people, man. I just love to see people win. And so I think by keeping that mentality, not just myself, but I'm speaking like in general, I think that only good things will happen, man. It's that karma, man. You put good things in the universe, and great things are going to come back to all of us.
100%. I think that's it's a good it's a good it's a good mindset to live by for sure. And actually, during my meditation practices, being happy and feeling some sense of happiness for others will will gravitate with happiness towards self. Let's say one of the meditation practices that I did the other day is to put in front of you, when you're meditating, you put in front of you someone that you actually perhaps had a quarrel with, like a fight with, and there goes my one sec. Yeah, it's like you're seeing somebody in front of you that you probably don't even like that much, but you see them smiling, you imagine them smiling, and then sort of the weight of your shoulders from having a resenting feeling towards these people will actually create some happiness towards self, and
Mm,
let you process and actually deal with the past of negative things that might have happened in between the two parties.
mm. That's deep right there. That I can see how that could work. Yeah.
It does work, man. Like, even I think um, most of the things that happen to us as humans is just we need to be able to process many things. Like, let's say for me, it was processing many things that happened to me in the past and actually always pushing them away.
Mm,
Always. And how did I push it away? Smoking, taking a pill, just get
right.
up, never being at home, always, just family troubles, or I think it always starts at home, to be honest.
Right.
But just childhood, man, and just always pushing it away. I think we just need to process our stuff and just talk about it from time to time.
That's great
Having one or
advice.
two good friends will definitely help out.
Man, I told you, young Nate's dropping gems on the podcast right now, man. Well, hey, dude, I appreciate you being on the podcast and hanging out and sharing some of your experiences, and most definitely sharing the great Caribbean vibes, man. Shout out to that. I told you, man, I knew my guy was going to come on here and, drop some good stuff, man, for the people. And most definitely everybody needs to go and subscribe on his loyal fans. And where could they find that? So they can find that on the CaribbeanSouls.inc too on the IG.
Yeah, they can just go on my IG. They will see a link on there, like the typical link in my bio type of thing, Always the same. People like click on the link in my bio. I'm like, so. I mean, if they had like some different way that Instagram could promote content creators, I don't know. Besides, like, I mean, maybe a link, but maybe just something they could click or something. I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could just click on the link in my bio, and you will see like my list of links. So you'll see the loyal fans, and I even have a Patreon, which is like more PG-13 kind of content. And yeah, you should try it out for sure. I mean, try it for sure. But Daddy Goods, thank you for having me on here. It was definitely a lot of fun to talk to you, somebody with some caliber, so to say, that could understand certain topics, which is great. It was very open, very comfortable. Not at one feeling that I feel like you were intruding any of my like personal stuff. You always ask for permission, which is great. Anybody on here as well, if you're checking this out right now, make sure you subscribe to Daddy Goods Plenty of Feed podcast. Check it out. Check him out. Check his wife out, which is Mama Goods. Two very great people in the community right now, coming up, doing their thing, creating a space, open space for people to talk, which is great, which I think definitely a community does need. So check it out. And I think I've been talking a lot, bro.
No, it's a podcast, man. That's what we do.
We're gonna be on here for like what, 55 minutes? I see. She.
Yep, man. So good looking now once again. Thank you for all those kind words, and most definitely everybody go check out those sites of his and follow his IG, all that good stuff. Man, anytime, man, you got something you want to get off your chest, man, just let me know. We'll do it again.
We can do it, man, for sure. It was great.
Right on, brother. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in. Young Nate, don't go nowhere. I'm gonna go ahead and run the intro or the outro, excuse me, and we're out of here. Boom.